Everybody, welcome back to part 2 of speaking and presenting skills. In this video, we will talk about body language. In part 1, we spoke about the voice. In part 2, which is this, we talk about body language. So when I'm talking about body language, I'm talking about your face, your gestures, that's your hands, your stance and your posture, and how you use space. If you're giving a Zoom or camera presentation, your use of space, it still applies. We'll talk about that. All right, facial expressions. If I say to you, "Hi, I'm really happy to be here. This is so exciting." Do you believe me? No, you shouldn't. So use your face to reflect your emotions and also to help the audience understand what you're talking about. If I'm telling you about something that's terrible and it was awful, it's really serious, I need to let my face reflect that. I don't want to be saying, "Oh, it was awful, it was so terrible," right? The other part of facial expressions is we want to smile occasionally. Now, not everybody is a natural smiler, and that's okay. Being a professional and skillful presenter doesn't mean you have to change who you are. We just add a couple of little details to help the audience connect with us. So if you're not a natural smiler, that's okay. You can just lighten your face occasionally. A half smile, a quick grin, or even just show your teeth when you talk. It just helps add some life to your face and helps the audience like you. And when the audience likes you, they're more likely to listen and pay attention. Gestures. Gestures are important when you're speaking, whether it's on camera or in person. If you're speaking on camera, obviously your hands have to be a little closer to your face, because if I'm gesturing like this, of course, you can't tell. If you're speaking in person, you can use larger gestures. If you try to use big gestures on camera, it can look a little strange, so test it before you publish it. You can also use gestures to help people understand what you're talking about. If you're talking about something was big, you can show them. If something was way up high, you can show them. If something was teeny tiny, you can show them. We also use gestures a lot to help the audience understand where you are and what you're talking about in your presentation. So a great tip and trick is to say, "I've got 3 things I'm going to talk about. First, blah, blah, blah. Second, blah, blah, blah. And finally," right? So when people are seeing as well as hearing, they're more likely to be able to digest what you're saying, to understand it, and thus want to pay attention. How you stand. Even if you're on a Zoom call or you're videotaping a presentation, your posture still counts. Here's me if I'm slouchy, and here's me if I'm sitting properly. Are you like this half the time? Do you tend to just, do you sit like this, right? So think about how you're sitting. Everything your mother told you is correct. Sit up straight, not too straight. Make sure you're still comfortable and can breathe. If you're rigid, you won't be able to breathe properly. If you're standing, your feet should be about hip width apart. You should be standing with your shoulders over your hips, over your feet. So make sure you're not sticking your butt out, sticking your chest out, sticking your hips too far out to one side or another. When you're speaking and presenting, your lungs are your main instrument. So you need to be able to breathe deeply and well. If you're all twisted up, then your voice won't have the power that you might want it to have. Space. You can use space. Now, if you're on a Zoom call or if you're creating a recorded presentation, you might not be moving around, but you can still use the small space that you have. So instead of just sitting and presenting and staring at that camera, You might move around a bit. You might add gestures. You might lean into the camera. You might lean back. If you are presenting in person, definitely move around. Do not hide behind the lectern. That's a very safe place, but it's a very boring place for your audience. So move around. You don't have to follow exactly what's on the slide, but the idea behind that slide is move around. This also helps you look at all audience members so that you connect with them. If you're presenting on a video call or on camera, of course, you only have one audience member, and that's you, the camera. If you're presenting in person, you need to make eye contact with everybody. In North America, eye contact is super important. It shows trustworthiness, it shows honesty, and it builds connection with your audience. We want to be thinking about speaking with or to our audience rather than at them. So you want to build a personal connection where possible just by making very quick eye contact with your audience. If you're speaking to a camera, make sure you're looking at the camera and not the video feed. You'll notice this on Zoom calls. People are often looking down because they're looking at themselves or the people they're speaking to. So try to break that habit. It's really unnatural, but it's just a habit. Look into the camera rather than down at your video feed. Big part of eye contact. Don't read your notes. Have your notes on the table, on the desk, out of the way of the camera, or if you're in person on a desk or table. If you have notes, make sure they're written really large so you're not doing this. Oh yeah. And definitely what you do not want to be doing is holding your notes up in front of you. That feels very safe if you're shy, but it's terribly unprofessional. Okay? So yes, use notes, but keep them out of the way. So to recap everything we spoke about in these two videos, we talked about voice, which includes volume, tone and pitch, pace and pauses, and enunciation. And then in this video, we spoke about body language, facial expressions, gestures, stance and posture, use of space, and eye contact. Use these 9 skills and you will look confident and professional. Even if you feel nervous and shy, you will look confident and professional. Good luck. Practice your presentation. That will make you more confident and more professional, and you will do wonderfully. Good luck with your presentation.